Everybody remembers Lovely Peaches. The screaming, the bizarre live streams, the disturbing claims, the videos that look like they were filmed at 3 a.m. on a phone with 4% battery. For years, the internet has had one question. Was Lovely Peaches actually like that? Or was she one of the first people to realize that being hated online could be a full-time career? Because the weirdest part about Lovely Peaches is not that she became famous. The internet has always rewarded chaos. The weird part is that nobody could figure out where Brittany Johnson ended and Lovely Peaches began. Before we talk about the character, we have to talk about the person. Lovely Peaches is the online name of Brittany Johnson. She became popular around 2017 through platforms like Instagram and later expanded across other social media platforms. At first, the content was strange, but not completely outside what you would expect from an aspiring internet personality. She posted music, she posted personal updates, she tried to build an audience. Basically, she was doing what millions of other people were doing, trying to turn attention into a career. Then something changed. The content became more extreme. The more shocking the posts became, the more attention they received. And slowly, the normal creator disappeared. The character took over. This is the part where people usually simplify the story. They say she was just crazy, or they say she was just trolling. But those explanations are way too easy, because the evidence points somewhere much stranger. It looks like Lovely Peaches was a mix of performance, attention-seeking, and genuine personal instability. Not one clean explanation. One of the most important moments in understanding her happened after a 2021 investigation involving allegations of animal cruelty. During police questioning, Johnson reportedly admitted that some of her shocking online behavior was done because she knew it would attract attention. According to reports about the body camera footage, she told officers she wanted followers and believed online notoriety could help her get signed by a record label. That detail matters, because it proves something important. At least some of the chaos was intentional. She was not just randomly uploading things and wondering why people reacted. She understood the basic equation. More shocking behavior leads to more views. More views lead to more followers. More followers lead to more opportunities. The internet had basically turned controversy into currency. And honestly, that is where Lovely Peaches becomes less like a random internet personality and more like a case study in attention economics. Because the business model was actually extremely efficient. No production budget, no expensive equipment, no team, no complicated strategy. The product was herself. The marketing was controversy. The distribution was everyone talking about her. The internet did the rest. Commentary channels covered her. People reposted clips. People argued about whether she was serious. People made reaction videos saying they were exposing her. And every single person discussing her was accidentally increasing her reach. This is the same reason rage bait works today. The algorithm does not understand morality. It does not know if something is inspiring or horrifying. It just knows that people stopped scrolling. It just knows that people commented. It just knows that people shared. But here's the part that makes Lovely Peaches different from a normal rage bait creator. A lot of rage bait creators are obviously playing a character. They have a wink at the camera. They break character after the clip ends. Everyone knows it is a performance. Lovely Peaches was different because she made the audience question whether there even was a character. There are clips where she appears completely aware of what she is doing. She jokes about attention. She discusses followers. She understands how people react to her. Then there are other moments where the behavior seems much more chaotic and personal. The contrast is what made people obsessed, because uncertainty is addictive. If everyone knows someone is fake, the mystery disappears. If everyone knows someone is genuine, eventually the shock wears off. But if nobody can figure out what is real, people keep watching. And this might be the biggest reason Lovely Peaches lasted as long as she did. Nobody was just watching her. They were trying to solve her. Every video became evidence. Every live stream became a clue. Every contradiction became another debate. There is also something important about the way she built her image. She never really tried to look impressive. A lot of influencers spend thousands trying to look relatable. They buy expensive cameras to create a casual aesthetic. They carefully design their messy room. They manufacture authenticity. Lovely Peaches accidentally created the opposite. Everything looked uncontrolled. Everything looked like something you were not supposed to be seeing. And that made people pay attention. The internet has always had a fascination with people who seem like they are breaking the rules of normal behavior. Reality television figured this out decades ago. The person who causes the most chaos gets the most screen time. Social media just removed the producers. Now anyone can create their own reality show. But the darker part is that platforms do not just reward success. They reward escalation. If one outrageous thing gets attention, eventually normal behavior starts feeling useless. Why post a song that gets a few hundred views when a shocking live stream gets millions? This is where the idea of reinforcement comes in. Every time extreme behavior gets rewarded, it becomes more likely to happen again. Not because someone is secretly a genius, because humans repeat things that work. And this is why the question of whether Lovely Peaches was fake is actually too simple. A person can exaggerate real emotions. A person can perform parts of themselves. A person can create a character that eventually influences who they become. Those things can all happen at the same time. Think about actors. An actor playing a villain still has to understand how the villain thinks. A comedian exaggerating a personality still pulls from something real. The internet is different because there is no clear ending. The show does not stop. There is no final episode. The audience keeps asking for more, and the creator keeps having to become more extreme. Here is the part most videos about internet chaos figures skip entirely. What happens after the peak? Because it always moves on. That is the deal nobody tells you about internet fame built on shock. The algorithm is not loyal. It does not care that you were the biggest story of 2021. It only cares what is trending right now. And the same system that turned Lovely Peaches into a household name in comment sections everywhere is the same system that will drop her the second something newer, stranger, or more chaotic shows up. This is the part of the story that rarely gets the views. A video about someone becoming infamous is a great video. A video about someone dealing with the aftermath for years does not get clicked nearly as much. But it is arguably the more important half of the story, because it is the part that shows you what the machine actually costs. Legal consequences follow you. Public backlash never fully fades. A digital footprint follows you into every future job. It follows you into every future relationship. It follows you into every future attempt to be seen as something other than the character. The internet has an incredible memory and almost no mercy. And this is where the story of Lovely Peaches stops being about one person and starts being a warning label for an entire generation of creators. Because she was not the last person to figure out that chaos sells. She is one of the earliest and most visible examples of a strategy that is now everywhere. Rage bait accounts run on it. Manufactured beef runs on it. Fake breakdowns for views run on it. Staged leaks run on it. All of it traces back to the same discovery. Outrage is cheaper to produce than talent, and it converts faster. The tragedy, if you want to call it that, is that somewhere underneath the persona was someone who just wanted to be a musician. Someone who wanted followers because she thought followers meant opportunity. And in a lot of ways, she was right, because the internet does hand out opportunity to whoever is loudest. It just does not tell you what that opportunity actually costs. It does not tell you how hard it becomes to ever put the character back down once the audience decides it is the only version of you they want. Now let us talk about the copycat effect, because Lovely Peaches did not stay a solo story for long. Within a year of her going viral, smaller accounts started studying her the way film students study a director. They noticed the pattern. Post something calm, get ignored. Post something unhinged, get millions of views overnight. So they started doing the same thing on purpose. Fake meltdowns became a genre. Manufactured feuds became a genre. Shock reveals became a genre. And the platforms never stepped in to stop it because outrage was good for engagement metrics. Every platform says it wants a safe community, but every platform's algorithm is built to reward whatever keeps people scrolling the longest. Those two goals are almost always in direct conflict. And when they conflict, engagement wins nearly every single time. This is not a coincidence. This is the business model. User attention gets converted into ad revenue. The more extreme the content, the longer people stare at the screen. The longer people stare at the screen, the more ads get served. Lovely Peaches did not build that system. She just figured out how to survive inside it faster than almost anyone else. There is a term researchers sometimes use for this called the attention economy. In an attention economy, attention itself becomes the product being bought and sold. Not talent, not quality, not even likability. Just raw attention, positive or negative, it does not matter which. And once you understand that framework, Lovely Peaches stops looking like a random internet oddity. She starts looking like an early and almost perfect example of what that economy produces when nobody sets any limits on it. Now, here's where the story gets uncomfortable, because we have to ask what responsibility platforms actually had in all of this. A teenager or young adult posting increasingly extreme content is not just a personal choice happening in a vacuum. It is a person responding to a system that is actively training them to escalate. Every notification is a reward. Every viral spike is reinforcement. Every quiet post that gets ignored is a punishment. That is basic behavioral conditioning, whether anyone designed it that way on purpose or not. And when a platform's own recommendation engine is functioning like a conditioning machine, it becomes very hard to say the resulting behavior is purely one person's fault. That does not remove personal responsibility entirely. Johnson made choices, and some of those choices had real consequences and reportedly involved real harm to others. But it also does not mean the platforms are innocent bystanders just watching from the sidelines. They built the stage. They built the spotlight. They built the algorithm that decided who got seen and who got buried. So when people ask why someone would keep escalating even after backlash, even after investigations, even after public outrage, the honest answer is that the system kept paying out every time she did. And most systems that keep paying out get repeated, because that is simply how reinforcement works, in humans and pretty much everywhere else. So where does that leave Lovely Peaches today? Mostly out of the spotlight compared to her peak, which is exactly what the algorithm was always going to do to her eventually. The internet moved on to newer chaos, newer controversies, newer names people argue about in comment sections. But the blueprint she helped popularize did not go anywhere. It just got picked up by the next person and the next one after that. Was Lovely Peaches a troll? Yes, sometimes, and there are documented examples where she knowingly created controversy for attention. Was everything a calculated performance? Probably not, and the person behind the character was still a real human being with real experiences and real consequences. The most accurate answer is probably the least satisfying one. Lovely Peaches was not just a genius manipulating the internet. She was not just someone randomly losing control. She was a person who discovered that the most extreme version of herself was the version the internet rewarded. And once millions of people were watching, that version became almost impossible to escape. The story of Lovely Peaches is not really about one person being strange. It is about what happens when a platform turns attention into money and then rewards people for becoming more extreme every time they log on. Because the internet does not just show us who people are. Sometimes it teaches them who to become. And that cycle, the climb, the chaos, and the cost has a name we are going to keep coming back to on this channel. Rise and ruin. Every time,